Hey everyone, I'm Kanan, and you are now watching CleanTechnica TV. This is the third and final part of our Fremont factory tour. So for now, what you've seen is how in part 1 and 2, we have gone through the seat factory, we've gone through stamping, and now we're gonna go through the body shop as well as General Assembly 3. Have fun. One of the first things you'll notice when you enter the Fremont factory is that anywhere there are robots, they are behind these plastic panels. This is for the protection of the people around, so that you don't walk into that area and the robots aren't tempted to integrate you as an extra component in the car. These things are without mercy. In any case, this plastic has been there for a while. It's not super clean, it's full of scratches, it makes filming hard. So if footage is not completely clean, you now know why. This is the body shop. Parts are taken from the warehouse that we saw in the previous episode and are brought here and are welded together by these machines. From what we have seen, every robot is responsible for a specific section of the car, but performs multiple welds in each section. So that is pretty versatile. Many of these robots are actually even capable of changing tools. The line, however, is really long, because the parts have to be welded in many different sections. As a matter of fact, in June last year, Tesla deemed 300 of the 5,000 welds unnecessary, and has taken those out to improve response time. The main engineering team responsible for making, maintaining, and improving the Model 3 line started from a team of 5, and has since grown to 70. Here we can see that the body is already a bit more developed. The body shop is 90% automated, and the reason why that is possible, unlike the S and X, is because the Model 3 was made for mass manufacturing from the get-go, from the design, from the very beginning, and this has made a big difference. Another thing that makes this possible is that Tesla has taught some of the industry standard robots new tricks. These robots are capable of switching tools and working together to achieve something. It's that complexity of the operation that puts it beyond industry norms. This robot here raises the car and sends it on its way to the paint shop. Next, we move on to another section. See some more cool things? And talk to some more really cool engineers. Here we see how work is done on the front axle assembly. How do we know it's the front? The springs here are a dead giveaway. The ones in the back are much bigger, as you will soon see. Now we don't have the footage of it being combined with the battery, but we do have footage of the step after that. We have now come to the infamous marriage ceremony. Alright, fine. It's not a ceremony, but it's quite a sight. Very different from the Model S, where people do it by hand. First, the drivetrain comes rolling in. It's raised a little, and then rolls onto the machine. Next, the body is rolled in above the drivetrain and the robots get to work. Just to give you the most accurate view of all this, we won't speed this up, we won't cut any of it out, nice and slow. Here we go. the robot comes back down again. A new powertrain rolls in, and it starts all over again. Next, we have mostly robotic post-marriage. The Model 3 General Assembly line is basically in the form of a really long line going around in a U shape. Although that is actually a complete oversimplification. More details on that in a bonus episode. In any case, before the U, before marriage, you have mostly manual assembly. Then when you come to that U section, the first step is marriage. Then mainly robotic post-marriage. Then after exiting the U-turn, you have mainly manual post-marriage. So yeah, basically, all this footage is robotic post-marriage in the U section. So remember when I said that these things can actually switch tools? That is what we may be witnessing here. Either that or they're grabbing a new screw. Now what is really interesting and sets Tesla apart from the competition is that every robot is connected to the network. Now starting with this Model 3 line, they took it a step further, as Tesla often does with everything. Every time a robot puts in a screw, it takes a picture and determines how successful it was. That data then gets uploaded to a database. Not only can it warn people if something is wrong, engineers can see the success rate of the machine. If it's too low, they can adjust it. They can look at bolt yields, not by station, but by every individual tool, which we know robots can change during their work at a specific station. The engineers can do entire studies on this data. Other automakers do sampling. This isn't sampling. This is done for 100% of the cars made by this line. Best of all, this is a freshly homegrown system. If they have an issue, they can solve it on the fly. You know, a funny thing about this is if the robot tried to put in a bolt but failed or dropped it on the floor, an engineer, without even approaching that part of the factory, can tell you exactly how many screws you will find on the floor at that specific station. Tesla's Fremont factory, it's huge. It is absolutely impressive. I wish we could have spent like a week filming there, and still we probably wouldn't even been done. But maybe in the future. This may be the last episode covering the tour, but there will still be bonus episodes and other future content. For that, please make sure to subscribe. We hope you liked this episode. Please let us know how we did in the comments. Till next time.